Today's topic is about enlightening, bringing light to sexual energy. My intention today is to bring clarity, understanding, and to learn further to be free from what holds you. And the way to truly start to make change is to gain knowledge, is to start to truly understand how energetics work. Because when we stay in the circumstance or in the stories of our lives, majority of the time we get tangled up in the story. And we try to resolve a situation from the story itself. This is not possible. If you step out of the river, then you are free from that struggle, but yet it is not ignored. You have full awareness to see the river. So only by stepping out of that energetic struggle or that energetic belief, conditioning, you are able to free yourself from that. And so today I want to speak about the lowest levels of consciousness that are completely interlinked with sexuality, sexual energy. I would like to start by looking at the map of spirituality for a moment, which is this graph. Being or living or holding or believing or having unprocessed energies that are still hanging on to you, still attached to you. And these are the lowest vibrations within us. So here we will start from the very bottom of the lowest vibration, the lowest level of consciousness, which is completely interlinked when we come to the topic of sexuality. Shame. Pause for a moment. Slow down. Pause for a moment to reflect on this energy of shame. If it hasn't ever touched you directly, look at the world. Look at women who have been a victim or abused, and what they could be holding. This great really low of the lowest vibrations of shame. And with shame comes guilt. But for the majority, we might have experienced some time in our life that created a sense of guilt, that left an impact and created an emotion of shame. And you will see in your life that sometimes this pops up in your reality. Another moment of feeling guilty. And of course, we see this very clearly in our society, how even religion completely conditioned humanity, to believe like you are doing a sin You know, it's very dark in a way when you truly see the impact of conditioning. You know, how it's really affected humanity to say you live in sin. How dare you, you know, you live in sin. Yeah? And it's been so deeply ingrained in our brain, in our nervous system, which is the spine, completely hooked onto very low vibration, which in itself it's so limiting. Yes, and here is where humanity is slowly awakening to see all the limitations. Of course, we touch it sometimes and we go up. You know, we fluctuate, we go up and down. But the more you learn how to purify these energies, the more you become free from these low vibrations, which are not actually you. You're just holding on to them or attaching to them or not having enough awareness that you are functioning through those vibrations. So awareness and light is very important. And this is why understanding energetics will help you liberate yourself from these low vibrations. So alongside with shame, just above it is the energy of guilt. So there again, guilt is a big one, yeah? It's a big one. Even if you can just pause for a moment, and even if you can take a moment to glimpse through your past or maybe your relationships and see how many times guilt would rise up. So this is already another big one, because it's also quite low, you know, it's quite heavy and low. And we tend to hold like all these dogmas and taboos around sexual energy and like holding all this guilt inside, you know, and still holding us so low and so limited just because we haven't purified these energies yet. Because when we speak of enlightened way and purified sexual energy, oh, it has nothing to do with this realm of existence. Where, you know, where one would, if we speak even the word sex or sexuality, instantly would trigger some guilt or shame or shyness or fear, yeah, or mistrust. And this is why I'm bringing the lowest of the vibrations to truly understand that first of all, that is not you, it is not your nature, and it is not a natural nature. It is only a conditioning. It is only a belief, which is an attachment to that vibration. It is also a manipulative energy. These victim and abuser consciousness, it is a very manipulative energies that hold humanity so limited of themselves. So from the evil forces who have been mind controlling humanity, here is where they succeeded for thousands of years to keep a human body, because that's what it came down to, not a human being. It came down to a human body to believe you are just this body and to live in shame, in guilt, in fear. So it has been a completely distorted self. Because your true self is far away from this. Okay, you might be familiar with what I'm speaking because we all have experienced these energies. And now we are slowly unhooking them from our spine. Because all these energies are ingrained in our nervous system. And I'm not speaking spirituality here. I'm speaking facts and science. And the functioning moves through the nervous system. Fear. Even fear around sexuality or sexual energy. Because women have been so deeply suppressed. You see, women hold a great potential of creation. Sexual energy is an energy of creation. We tend to give power to fear and not power to love. We tend to do this without even knowing we are choosing fear and not choosing love. And the fear that also hooks us in that limited self. The fear around sexual energy is only been conditioned through thousands of years. Suppressing women, suppressing and cutting them off from their own creative energy. Because when a woman awakens her inner vital sexual energy and completely purified, here is when a woman steps fully into her creation, into the artist, let's say. That is how it feels when a woman is fully in tune with her own creative sexual energy. But when we speak of sexual energy, what comes to the mind is maybe how it has been used through the suppression, yes, but how it has been misused from woman herself in the wrong direction as well. So what happens? Then this energy of neediness, wanting attention, it's like this pulling, needy, not trusting, doubting, disempowered, yeah? Because she is not in touch with her creative sexual energy. Because when one that reopens, reactivates and is purified, then you're not misusing your sexual energy in the wrong direction. You are utilizing it, not wasting it. Many times we waste our energies. So today, since it's about sexual energy, we waste sexual energy not just only by having, for example, if one has any explosive orgasms, because you're wasting all your energy, but I'm speaking when you are needy, when you want attention, when you want that, there's no fulfillment inside, and even some women actually, throw out that sexual energy everywhere to grab attention, but yet not knowing how harm that is doing to oneself. So sexual energy is a very vital, potent energy. And when we get enough education on this energy, and we truly learn to unhook all these low vibrations and beliefs and concepts around it, and then we continue to purify it with some practice, and then to use it internally, use it to heal yourself, use it to rejuvenate you, use it to have more creative ideas, and also create whatever moves you, whatever gives you enthusiastic and joyful feelings. So this is how a wise woman would utilize her energy. She would use it appropriately, knowing how to share sexual energy, maybe with the right people in their life. Desire is a lot interlinked with sexuality. Yeah, you can see desire splashing out to people in advertisements, in magazines, TV. Desire, yeah, creates that inner feeling of desire to want to become like her or like she, or like competitiveness comes up. This is all around desire. It's still quite low vibrationally speaking. You know, it's a lot like also it's the craving. It brings a craving, you know, where one feels I'm not enough. And many women resonate on this. I'm not enough. I need to become that. Because that is what I need to be to find my fulfillment. And it's not true, it's not real. It's a complete illusion that humanity came to believe in. So this craving is, I am not enough. So it's good to see it, to recognize it, because once you have shined your light on it, then you can unhook it from your system with some further work, of course, yeah? And with desire comes addictions. So many forms of addictions. So these are completely interlinked, and also interlinked with pride. It is a bit on a higher vibration, which is still in the victim or abuser consciousness. But pride is also a vibration where, unfortunately, most of humanity still function from. And it is the relying on the materialism, not just on the wealth of that materialism, but also of the body. And how one perceives how sexuality should be. Of course, this comes through pornography. So now, in the mind, there is a belief that to be sexual, to be good enough, you have to be like that. And this pride takes over you, giving all your power to the aesthetics, to the materialism. And here, you cannot find fulfillment. It's a trap. So you see, all that I'm speaking of, it can be experienced both ways. It can be experienced from a victim, yeah, to be a victim of what I'm speaking of, but also an abuser. It is the same vibration. So you see, this is a dual, it's a duality. Every energy is dual. Every energy has good and bad, light and dark, happiness and sadness. Same goes with victimhood and an abuser. So I'm going to go back slightly. I just said just earlier, sexual energy has been abused, manipulated, suppressed. It has been abused as an energy, as a collective energy, yeah, collective. So the opposite of that is seeing humanity as well being victimized through sexual energy. And now I want to shift a bit. What can we do? You know, apart from education, apart from talking about it, then we have to put on some practice, yes? Now, one way for someone to be living in a victimhood consciousness needs to gain strength. So the key point here is courage. If one feels pulled down and not seeing that life is assisting or helping you, you need to gain strength, inner courage, and have the willpower to change, to shift, to move up, and to work with whatever comes to your reality. To work with it, to not resist it, yeah? To embrace also your difficulties, to allow and accept, not to push away, not to judge, okay? Because that will create more resistance, more inner wars, more fight. But rather we embrace, we hold, we accept, we allow. And that will be easier for us to work through whatever is in our reality now. And moment by moment, you can take care of what is with you in this moment.